Here we have a new 2023 Cadillac Escalade. This one comes in the Platinum trim level in the beautiful black Raven, and then we have jet black perforated leather interior. Our powertrain consists of a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And just a stunning vehicle, not the Sport Platinum, but this just has more of an elegant look to it in my opinion. LED headlamps along with LED signature running lights. And then we do get these standard 22-inch 10-spoke wheels. Again, compared to the Sport Platinum, even though the Sport Platinum looks sportier, something about this. And we get passive keyless entry on the front, 3-stage heated cooled seat, buttons are there, power door lock controls, and then we have power windows with one-touch automatic up and down for the front, and then our memory seat functions are here, power folding mirrors with blind spot monitors in them, and then we have our power mirror controls and rear window lock here. Now over here we have our 4-wheel drive controls. We can go through our drive modes here. We have 5 of those. I'll show you on that gauge cluster there. And then we can use our air suspension. We can lower or raise it there. Electronic parking brake, hit it to engage, and then press it down again while your foot's on the brake and it'll disengage it. Trailer brake controller, and then the brightness for our gauge cluster. And then we also have a tilt and telescoping steering wheel, all power. And then here we have our power driver's seat with power lumbar support as well as massage function there. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's go ahead and check out this rear leg room. So great room back here. Knees are not touching the back of the seat at all. And we do have seat back pockets on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and open this so we can get some light in here. Tends to be a bit dark. And then we have our rear AC controls here. So fan speed, I can cut it all the way off, I hit it all the way down. And then temperature is here. We can set our auto mode here. Then we have 3-stage heated outboard seats. And then hit this over here for the fan direction. Cup holders in here. And then we have 2 HDMI ports and 2 USB-C ports, along with the 3-prong household plug-in. So we can use this media center here. So to turn it on, you just tap the screen, and then we have our settings here, screen brightness, Bluetooth headphones, and then we can connect the headphones here. We can switch it to the speakers, and then we have YouTube Kids, YouTube, 2 HDMI ports, and then you can just cut the screen off there. Same thing with the second one on that side. And I do like that we have these nice padded armrests here on both of the captain's chairs. And then just to show you the leg room, I'm gonna make my way back to the 3rd row. And then that's the leg room there. So my knees are barely touching the back of the seat here. They're in there, but it's not too uncomfortable, and I can always just do that if I have just one other person back here. So again, very good space. USB-C port, storage. Same thing on the right side. And then I can hit this button here, fold that seat flat if I just want to sit back here. So you can also use that for additional storage as well. Let's go ahead and make our way out. But premium dome lights, speaker there. You can hang 3 or 4 hooks on this hook here. So we do get a standard 36 speaker AKG sound system, which is very nice. Sounds incredible. Capless fuel filler there. Premium is recommended. And then coming around the back end here, we do get LED tail lights. Take a look underneath. Spares there. And then there's the exhaust. And then you can just hit that Cadillac crest to open the power lift gate. And then we can power fold our 3rd row up and down. And then we can power release our captain chairs up front. So pretty usable back. It's nice that everything is power. It makes it a whole lot easier to lower the seats, raise the seats. But again, I showed you how that seat folds flat with a touch of a button there, but you can also just hit that and it'll fold down as well. And then front passenger seat, power with power lumbar, as well as massage function too. And then we have a lockable glove compartment here. Owner's manual's in here. I love the feel in the glove box, and it's a pretty good size too. And this storage pocket is absolutely fantastic. Tons of space right in there. But let's take a quick look at this window sticker. And I want to give a huge shout out to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Escalade today. I'll leave a link below to this vehicle as well as their entire inventory in the description. But so much comes on this Platinum standard, and then you have SuperCruise, retractable running boards, and the sticker's right at $116,095. But still, in my opinion, the pinnacle of luxury SUVs. And that's why you can't find any of these anywhere. Let's take a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8, mostly covered up there. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So we do get a nice heated leather wrap steering wheel here. You can heat that there. And then the SuperCruise sensor right here. Well, the sensor's there, but that indicator light right in there. And still a nice feel, feels fantastic, and I love the wood grain right there in the middle. But going over the screen here, I believe this is gonna be, it's like a 16 or 17.2 inch screen here, and then that's like 14 inches or something, and this one's 7 inches, and all that equals some crazy number. But we do get Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto wirelessly, and then we have AM, FM, XM radio, and of course the navigation system. So that's pretty fun to use. You can search for shortcuts, or you can type in an actual address or whatever. So if you're looking for looking for an actual address, it'll start filling it in for you on that right side there. And then you can just go to that address. And then let me go back in here one more time. Again, if you want gas, you can do it by brand, or it'll just pull up all the gas stations. And then when it does that, it shows you the price, how long they're open. So pretty nice. And then recent destinations and favorites as well. And I just like how easy the screen is to use. It's so futuristic feeling, and it's also super quick. So it's not a lot of lag, even though there's so much going on here. So you have your Wi-Fi hotspot. I really like this vehicle information center. I can see the oil life, tire pressure, and then fuel economy, and I can just scroll through this. And as you can see, as I turn the steering wheel, it's showing me that angle as well. Battery voltage, just a bunch of stuff you usually wouldn't use, but it's nice to have at your fingertips. So just so much to see there. And then rear climate, trailering, you can pull that up if you have a trailer set, pulling your boat or pulling whatever. You got a camper, you can do that. And then here we have our front camera, and then a 360 view on the right side. There's our backup camera. And then we also have an overhead view, curbside view, and then we have wide angles as well. So many different views there. And then we also have a video recorder if you want to ever set that up. And then rear media, you can just go in here and you can control that as well. If you ever want to, you can cut the screens on and off from the front, or you can lock them so the kids don't fool with them for whatever reason. Rear camera mirrors there, flip that on and off. And then we have dual zone automatic climate controls, pretty easy to use. Love the graphics, but we can adjust fan speed, we can adjust temperature here, and then defrosters, AC, we can sync here. Then our auto mode is here, and we can decide whether we want to change the direction of the airflow there, and we can cut the whole system off as well. So pretty easy to use. Automatic brake hold, lane keep assist with lane departure, auto stop toggle here, And then to shift the 10-speed, grab this lever, pull down for drive, pull again for low, tap up for neutral, and then pull, push all the way up for reverse, press P for park. And then this is all for your radio. Hazards are down here. But we can use this to actually go through the screen if we want to. Kind of like in some of the German brands. And then volume knobs here, which I like they did that. And then Bluetooth or phone button shortcut, music shortcut, nav shortcut, vehicle info shortcut, and then we have our home button and back button here. USB-C, USB-A input, little storage pocket, 2 cup holders. We can stow all that away. And then center console cubby space, removable tray, and then we have a 12-volt SD card reader for the nav, then a USB-C, USB-A input there as well. Ooh, wireless charging pad is right in here. And then we can power fold the 3rd row from back here. And just look at all that space you have and everything's folded down. Tons and tons of storage. And then you can fold that 2nd row back up from up here as well. And then of course your garage door transmitters up there, dome lights here. And then we have this huge panoramic sunroof, which we can tilt or one-touch slide back. So I'm gonna start that process. And then it'll go pretty far back. As you can see, tons and tons of fresh air coming in there. But back to the steering wheel, we have our cruise controls here. So of course we have standard adaptive cruise, the gap adjust for that, and then we just set that. I'll show you that on the test drive. And then voice recognition controls here. And then this is for the SuperCruise. Volume controls. And then we have a mute button. This is for the track list or radio station favorites. And then we can scroll through our gauge cluster as well. Right in there. And these are gonna be shortcuts for that. So, pretty intuitive system for the most part. And we do have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Headlamp controls are here. There's the auto mode. Auto high beams are here. Regular high beams there. And then you can flash them there. And to the right side of the steering wheel, one time auto, we can adjust how sensitive those automatic wipers are there. Low, high. And then we have our rear wiper control here. And then pull up for front wiper fluid, push back for rear wiper fluid. And then over here to the left side of the gauge cluster, we can go through our trips here. And then we have our shortcuts for setting up the actual middle part of the gauge cluster. So we can either have the camera going, the map going, or just have the normal gauge clusters. And then the heads up display, we can adjust the height and the brightness. And you can see that right in there if you look closely. It doesn't flash like that. Again, it's just how the LEDs are picked up. Push button starts here. And then finally, here is our key fob with remote start. And next we're gonna go ahead and take this Escalade Platinum out on the road for a quick test drive. So right off the bat, such a fantastic, luxurious ride. This air suspension really does come in handy. Just a nice plush ride. There's no other way to put it. So the Escalade for me, ever since they redid it for, I think it was 21, 22, I never, when it first came out, I was not feeling it at all because I thought the 2020s just looked so much better. But in 2023, I have to say this is such a stunning looking vehicle. Just the epitome of luxury in my opinion. Like I said, with this Platinum in particular, elegant, but it's strikingly beautiful. It really is. I'm gonna put on the adaptive cruise, or SuperCruise, excuse me. See if I get over a lane, if it'll let me use it for a sec. So there's a SuperCruise there. And a fantastic system, just so easy to use. Very comfortable. I do have to get off on this exit here, so I'm gonna come back over. And then in this exit lane, it's letting me do it now, so that's good. I guess I just had to get over a lane first, because usually when I come down this stretch with SuperCruise, it doesn't let me use it unless I get over and come back. But again, a fantastic system. And as you can see, it's disengaging as I'm coming up to this exit lane. So again, it's one of the smartest, I think to me, it's actually the smartest semi-autonomous driving system out there. And I think it has the most put into it, even more than Tesla's system, and that's why it's so expensive. But for me, I think it's worth it, especially if you do a lot of long distance highway driving. And we do have auto stop, but it hasn't engaged yet because the car hasn't been on for a long time. But I still feel like I have plenty of power here in this tour mode, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up to sport mode and give it a run here. Just so powerful. GM 6.2 liter V8's been around for quite some time. They've had plenty of time to revamp it over the years, and it's thirsty, but it's a monster. It really is. Now, in terms of competitors, there are quite a few. The Lincoln Navigator comes to mind, the Range Rover, even Mercedes GLS, G-Wagon. It just kind of depends what you're in the mood for. There's so many, but still, I feel like nothing has the same presence, the same name recognition as the Escalade, and there's a reason for that. The ride is fantastic. The features are always top-notch, high-tech, state-of-the-art. And especially with the SuperCruise system, it really does compete with pretty much any other vehicle, including the Tesla Model X, in terms of semi-autonomous driving capability. But I'm gonna use the paddle shifters just for a quick moment. And downshifts are pretty quick. Now, the upshift, it's not going to really let you have full control unless it thinks that that's a good idea. So when I was trying to upshift while my foot was still down, it said, well, I'm not gonna do it immediately. So it kind of lagged in that sense, and it kind of helps with not damaging your transmission. Long term, of course. But for $117,000, I mean, that's what you're expecting to pay to have the epitome of luxury at the palm of your fingertips, or at the palm of your hand, excuse me. So it's still that. The Escalade is still top dog in terms of luxury, specifically for American vehicles, I think. And this is over the Navigator. The Wagoneer's pretty close behind, but it's just something about having this Escalade, especially with the powertrain and the looks. I feel like it's still number one. But this will bring me to an end of my review of the new 2023 Cadillac Escalade Platinum.